What's up, everybody? And we are back with another explosive episode here at the Transition Podcast, Man to God. And I'm your host, Rashad McCants. And today, like always, is another special guest. And I have the privilege of introducing someone I've been working with for years, almost 10 plus years. We almost been 10 years
Yeah,
almost,
it's
man. And
crazy, right?
we're talking
Time
about
flies.
basketball. We're talking about life. We're talking about everything in between. I like to introduce my audience to a good friend of mine, Mr. Jamal Lovell, and he is known as Dash Letics. Welcome to the show, brother. Man, how you doing today?
Man, I'm good, bro. I appreciate you. Just excited to be on the show and just be able to just chop up, talk basketball, and just talk life and talk about this transition from where I started to where I'm going and continuing to grow from. So
Right,
I'm happy to
right,
be
man.
here, man.
We got a lot. We got a lot to unpack, man. But we don't even want to. We don't want to jump into the logistics of
Yeah.
um where you from and all that. We don't want to jump in. I want to jump right into basketball, man. Um, I would really like to talk about where we are in the
Mhm.
culture of basketball um, after the passing of the great Kobe,
Mhm.
the Mamba, Bryant, and how the game has transcended since then. What are your thoughts on the current status of the young basketball culture when it comes to AAU, when it comes to um, grade school, high school basketball? What's your take on where we are right now in the culture?
Oh man, it's crazy that you asked that question because for me, like I was talking to some of my guys the other day about that, and I was talking to one of them. I was saying, man, it just feels like 90% of the world, right? Like, because the 90%, that huge number, they're the ones that spend a lot of the money on certain things, right? Then you got this 10% that actually knows what's valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we're in a culture where, like, the 10% of people, and that's the crazy thing, right? Because when you look at the numbers of guys that go on and make it, it's like this small percentage. And it's for a reason because it's only a small percentage of people that actually know the game
Right.
the right way. And the 90, they think they know it and they think they know what's right. So then you got guys selling anything to parents and to people, and the game is just getting watered down. And people think that's the route, but they really don't know the route. You know what I mean? It's like a roadmap, man. It's directions to this stuff.
Right.
And and some people are being led down the wrong roadmap, taking the wrong directions, and it's kind of tough. I always like to compare it to like public school and private school. Like, you got the private school, the information is a little different, right?
Yep. Yep.
When you get public school information, it's just like, it's not that much detail, is that not, and those are the things that's missing, and that I see in AAU basketball and even in high school basketball and even with trainers and stuff like that. Right now, guys are not really teaching the game. It's more like they're trying to sell their like their style to people. Like, they're trying
Is
to
it
sell the fact
is it
that
fair to say that the reason that that is happening is because the game has evolved into a way where everything is do it yourself.
yeah,
Everything is um, content creation. It's
yes,
not about the game anymore, and I think that the essence of the students out there who really love the game, who really study the game, have to accept the fact that the game is not the same. The
yeah,
game has become individualized. It's not about the team. It's become more about stats,
mm-hmm.
where it's not about the camaraderie. And then you push it down the throats of these kids who only show and follow what they're influenced by.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're showing accolades and individual performances and it's only important how many points you make, that's what you're going to start seeing, and the importance of the game will disappear because
Yeah.
it's not about the game no more. It's about the individual player.
No,
And so
100%.
moving into the college realms, and you talk about the AAU stuff, and you look at the parents and how the parents are just kind of fostering in this, um, they they're fostering in their own want to be in the spotlight and their own shine that they didn't get when they were kids.
Yeah,
Talk
yeah.
about that transition that kids have to go through from high school to college, and your experience of dealing with those parents, and how that game is trying, how you trying to get that game to those kids, and that there's the distraction in between that.
It's crazy that you said that because like it gets to a point, right? And that's why like it's important to run whatever you're doing at a professional level and with a certain respect and standard to it, because you get those parents that come in and just feel like, nah, I want it this way, I want this, I want that for my son. And as soon as they start hitting colleges where this is becoming, it's $1 billion business, like somebody can lose their job if your kid can't get it right. And now it's like kids are transferring more than ever. They've seen more kids in the transfer portal the last few years than they ever seen, period. You know, so because now it's getting to the point where guys are like, man, I'm not losing my job. You can't get it done. You can transfer and get up out of here. But how many times are you going to transfer, right? Like at some point, somebody's going to be like, well, everybody ain't the issue. You got to start looking at yourself. But like you said, that started from way back then. Like, because even in the AAU circuit, like you see kids playing for one team, then go to another team. Even in high school, kids are transferring like 50,000 times. And like, you know, the parents are trying to get such a control of like the situation where they're taking away the beauty of growing and understanding ways to turn and playing the right way, because everybody feels like my son just got to do it right now.
Yeah.
Right now. Everybody feels like right now. And then where it gets really tricky is when you get to the college level and it's not working out that way for you. When you get to the pro, and even if you get to the pros and you realize like, damn, like back then, first like when you look at the game a few years ago, like first top 5 picks, like guys were coming in and making like heavy impact on the game. Like I don't see that now. Like where like guys are coming in as rookies and it's like, damn, like shit, you could put the like back then you get a first round pick, like you like shit, we playing through him.
Absolutely. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about why that is, though. The reason that is because back then we spent more time trying to prove ourselves in college than trying to go to pros and prove ourselves in the pros. For me personally, I took an approach that I knew all of my other counterparts took, was you have to dominate the game in college before you can move on and have any respect on the next level.
Yeah.
So my whole 3 years spent in college was about dominating in my position. If I'm the most dominant two guard in my position for the years I play in college, I know that when I move on, everyone behind me ain't can't touch me.
Yeah.
I'm going to dominate whoever comes into the draft
Yeah.
after this for the next 4 years because I know I dominated the last three.
Yeah.
So these kids are not focused on dominating their opponents, dominating the college realms, being the best shooting guards, point guards, center. They just get the clout, they get the attention, and see these followers on their Instagram, and they make that decision. Well, I want to go to the pro now. You know, I
Yeah.
got enough clout, I got enough stuff around my name,
Yeah.
but you're not dominant. We can throw out a bunch of names of NBA rookies, second, third year players who never dominated, but never lasted, beyond the talent threshold. And you can't blame it on coaching and he didn't play me this. No, you didn't develop your skills.
Develop. You didn't. And if
And
and
and,
when you talking about development, um, and that goes back to like we talked about, right? Like I think development has taken a different path where everyone is so much focused on only developing the skill set and not developing the reads of things.
the game.
The game, man. Like this is two different things that's going on. Yes, there's one where like, okay, I gotta be able to like get my footwork, my jumper together, my movement together. But that's just a separate book by itself.
That's preparation.
That's preparation. Now you got to understand, how do I think, see things, like what like reads am I feeling, like And I think that's where I see the game struggle the most. Like nowadays, like I'm watching even professional players at a high level can't make certain reads.
Well, it's pickup, bro. When you think about pickup ball, I'm here in Vegas, and it used to be the mecca of pickup, where we came to Vegas every summer. Everybody, 2, 3 courts running, 15, 20 guys, all NBA guys, all certified, and we played. It was about playing. It wasn't about training. It wasn't about anything else but playing. But
Mm-hmm.
now I come in the gym, everyone's training. Everyone's like you said, you're working on your skill, but you're not practicing the preparation with the action. You're not converting what you learning in your training and then going out there and being able to be freestyle in the game and being able to make your reads. Like you said, you can't make reads to the real life, real time game if you're not playing.
Timing and reads. I just post something about that. It's about timing and reads. If you don't have that proper time, and let me ask you a question. Since you've been watching all these pickups, like, do you feel like guys are taking pickup games like as serious as they used to?
No,
That's another thing
no,
that's killing it,
no,
right?
and it's
So,
disgusting.
and it's disgusting because it's tough to get better when you're getting like a 40% defense from a defender. Like, and then when you get ready to go in season in a month, guarding you at like 100, like, and he
Yep,
there, it's like a whole different feel.
yep.
So, like, I don't want to blame it on, like, for me, I, I always say, I don't care if I have all the pros in the gym because I got to be able to talk to guys.
Yep.
If I can't, if I can't say to you, hey, look, man, I don't care who you are, you could be the greatest player. Yo, we coming in here and I'm holding our runs to a standard.
Yes.
What I see with a lot of like guys that are training people, they're allowing these players to do whatever they want because they want them there.
They want them there. Yeah.
Like for me, I'm okay to lose people. I'd rather lose you because you ain't gonna never say Dash never told me that. Because when you have to think back to like sometimes the best help is to let someone go.
Yep.
And these guys don't even want to let these guys go because they'd rather, then that's what goes back to what we just talked about in the beginning. It's not about the player anymore. It's about these guys making their own money or making their own
Mm-hmm.
clout and growing their own brand. Like, bro, I'd rather let you go before I try to just sacrifice. Like, because the whole purpose of even getting into this, man, is to help.
Yep.
Where's the help if you're just like taking advantage of like guys coming in, like and just letting them do whatever, like So
It's accountability, bro. I remember being in a few runs with KD and Russ when they were both on the same team in Oklahoma City, and the runs were so bad because no one said anything about these guys coming down shooting the ball every single time, like they was just playing OKC against pickup, right? And then you got those guys, those same guys, not playing defense. Like they just letting guys go by. There ain't no rotation. And when I was coming up, what made pickup so extremely important for me was the fact that when I left the gym, I built on my reputation. My reputation now went up a few notches because I just killed in pickup. And every time I come in here, they know my energy because I'm taking it seriously. Whether I'm stopping this dude, I'm
yeah.
scoring on them, or we winning every game. It's
Mm-hmm.
important because every time you start to, that's how I grew. My whole everything was
Mm-hmm.
in the hood. I went from gym to gym, killing. And by the time I went to all the gyms and I had my name circulating throughout the neighborhood, I can go anywhere and everybody walk in. They gonna pick me first. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Shy here. I want him on my team. Yeah,
Yeah.
we gonna either win, he gonna score, he gonna do dunk on somebody.
Yeah.
It don't even matter. But if you playing 40% defense, and this is something I'm dealing with the young guys now. Like we playing pickup out here, and it's like we can't get no real value out of this because
Nah,
y'all not
that's what I'm
taking it
saying.
serious.
You're not taking it serious. And if you like you talked about, if you got guys just coming out, just play ones. If you just want to shoot by yourself, you can literally just play ones. Like you don't need help defenders coming over if help comes over and you're not willing to give it up.
Right.
Like for me, it's about playing and being able to make reads, man, and being able to like get off the ball. And like you said, even on the defensive end, like, hey man, let's play defense today. hey, when I step up and we ice that thing, hey, you come over and help, right? So if that guy, you tagging him for me, help the helper, like all these things that the game requires. When you go play pickup and that's not being pushed and enforced, it's like wasteless pickup. Like, what did you
But
get
think
from it?
about it. Think about it, Dash. Where is
Mm-hmm.
it being taught outside of the game concept and team concept when you're
That's
with
what
your
I'm saying.
team,
To
right?
team, guys wait for
Trainers are
yeah.
not teaching defensive concepts that guys can use in pickup. I
Mm-hmm.
find myself being the vocal leader that I am, always directing on the defensive end, like the anchor, like, all right, we got to shrink up, push left, push right. I'm on the nail. I got your help. No one else in the whole gym is saying any
Any
of
of
these
that.
things.
And if you're saying it, guys think like, man, he's doing too much. Like, bro, we're not here to be cool. We're here to play.
This
Like,
is
we here to
basketball. No, what I'm
get
doing is basketball. What are you doing? You're not playing basketball. I'm playing basketball.
I got this saying this me and D Fish talk about all the time. Fish be like, how could you say you how could you be too serious about something you said you were serious about? This is why I get to look at him, man. He taking this shit way too. But bro, you said you were serious about this. This is how you feed your family. This is how you pay your bills. But I'm taking it way too serious. I'm
Yeah.
confused.
They
Like
want it. They want it where it's serious, but not too serious. You know,
serious.
it's hard work, but it's not too hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is just the energy of the beta males and the guys who just don't want to work, who ain't never seen hard work before. And that's the difference. And, you know, that's what I want to talk to you about the transition because your story, your life story is the epitome of never giving up, always having something to prove, chip on your shoulder. You can't say no to me. I'm going to get it by any means. And when you have that passion and you can take these steps and then fall and get back up, that's what these kids need to start to see, that there's attention and detail in everything, not just offense. You got
Mm-hmm.
to be defensive because you're going to
Mm-hmm.
have to defend against all the adversity. And if you
Mm-hmm.
don't have that defense and only thing you're doing is shooting, only thing you're doing is dribbling, that's you're only doing, all you're doing is bringing attention to yourself. You're being selfish.
Yeah.
The unselfishness is being defensive. Is when
Yeah.
you can play defense and offense. You know what I'm saying? So for you, let's talk about New York.
Mm-hmm.
What brought you out to LA? And a lot of people, we didn't start off talking about what your expertise is, which is ball handling. One of
Yeah.
if not the coldest ball handlers to ever grab a ball. And we're talking about a lot of different ball handlers from Kyrie, World Be Free, Jason Williams, you know, Steph Curry, AI, Steve Francis. Like a lot of these guys can handle the rock, but I don't think none of them have seen you handle the rock the way you handle it. Even Dribble Too Much and Filet, all these guys can handle. But the guy who stood out to me the most as a baller, the Athletics. So
For
talk
sure.
about where you got your ball handling skills from in New York, man, and how it brought you out to Cali.
Man, to be honest, like and one, right? Mixtape tour, that was Rucker Park. Like them days watching Skip, Alamo, rest in peace. Like, Ayo, you know, like watching those guys, like, and like, you know, it's so crazy because like I was able to do a lot of like a lot of like skill, tricky dribbling stuff, but not till like I got to like California and I met you. Actually, it took my ball handling to another level because like I was able to like really handle the ball, but like when I met you, I started understanding how to use my handle. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of kids struggle with that. Like they can really dribble and they can dribble really good. They could do a lot of things with the basketball, but they don't know how to put it in real timing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing that brought me to California, man. Like I really love the game, and I remember like I was trying to pursue it. I started late. My brother used to tell me, man, like one of my other brothers used to tell me all the time, like just because you don't play in the NBA, that don't mean you ain't gonna be in it. And I took that and I ran with it. I never forgot it till this day. Like, you know, so I still pursue it like from a coaching standpoint, the same way I pursued it as a player. like putting my all into it, watching film, studying, studying. So I came out here, started working with guys, try to get on with an agency when I first came here. It didn't plan out. And the funny thing is, man, I try to tell guys this all the time. Sometimes you just got to be in the conversation.
Yep.
It's called manifestation, right? You got to let things manifest, but manifestation without work leads to nothing, right? So I just kept working. And like for me, I was at a point where like when people would say they would do something, and I would just get so mad when it didn't fall through. But then as I got older, I started realizing as long as I'm in the conversation, there's going to be more conversations to happen, right? Because you know how this goes, right? Like if I tell you something, then you're going to tell somebody else something. Because that's how things spread. It could be bad spread of news or good spread of news, right? Yep. So once I started understanding words can be spread by conversation, because Snap, think about it, man. Like say for like if say somebody talking about somebody, right? It could be good or bad. If they saying something bad, that person can't wait to tell the next person something bad. Or and I started realizing that concept, but I used it in a positive way. Like, okay, I may not got to work with that person, but then he went and had a conversation with another person. Then another person have another conversation with another person. And you just allow that energy and you keep working and being ready. So I just kept working and being ready, and I was just able to come out here. When I came out here, the same thing, just keep working, keep elevating, and just trying to stay ready at all times. And and you will feel a lot of letdowns. And the thing is, like, bro, when you hear people say stuff like you gotta be able to deal with the reaction of things. Like, so one action might cause you to react. How you react to things is everything. So for me, I never allowed anything that made me fell down to make me kind of just sit and put the brakes on things. I kept my foot on the gas. So even now, I'm keeping my foot on the gas. Like, just even being on the podcast with you, talking ball, talking life, these things for me is keeping my brain moving and wiring. And we're putting this energy out there right now in this very moment. This is energy going out there. So like for me, I'm just like, man, just keep pushing, keep your foot on the gas. And that's how I ended up out here and being able to connect with the people I connected with, man. And we're not done.
Let's talk about the good. Let's talk about the good shiny parts of your resume, man. Let's talk about those guys you done worked with, man. I mean, a lot of people need to know that your resume and your credentials are not just high school kids. Yeah. You have a lot of very credible NBA players that you work with and that have mentored you along the way as well.
Yeah.
Outside of myself, talk about your influence, but also the influence of all those others that have given you, some type of information about how to better yourself as a trainer, a person, a man. Talk about those run-ins and who those people are.
Man, Samaki Walker, you know what I'm saying? Like, I talk to Samaki to this day, and he always tell me, man, I watch how you work, young fella. Like even when nobody wanted to give you a chance, I just watch you work, put your head down, keep working. Katino Mobley was one of the first guys to give me a chance when I first came out here to train his kids. And it went from training his kids to training him. Rasul Butler, rest in peace. It's crazy because I was going through my phone the other day, bro, and I'm scrolling down and I still got messages from me and Rasul talking about we gonna meet in the gym tomorrow, man. And I stopped and think for a second, damn, I was able to work with him, bro. And he's one of my first guys. Then I met Derek. Derek Fisher's a great mentor. And he was able to really teach me how to break film down and watch it the right way. And man, you just being able to run across you. And I ran across you at a time where there was a lot of backs turned against me, and you just stood with me yo, dog, it's all good. Let's figure this out. And just watching you play, man, and seeing how you read the floor and read people body movements. I've never seen anybody with a pace like yours in person. Just being able to move at, it looks slow, but it's happening fast. Mm-hmm. And it's because you know what you're looking for. And and it's funny because I start seeing it more and more now. And I watch guys like Steph. People discredit how great basketball players are. The ones that can actually really think the game. They
Yep.
think it's just shooting and dribbling and God's gift. No, man. Don't give my gift to God like that. He gave me
Right.
the fire.
Right.
But don't give my hard work to him like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all about God and I believe in God, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he gave me life and he gave me desire.
I put some work
I
in
put some
too.
work in too. So like when I see somebody told me the other day, he's like, man, your basketball IQ is high, man. Man, that's natural. Like, man, you just got natural reads. Like, I'm like, nah, bro, that ain't natural. I work for it. Like, don't
Man,
take my
because
word for it.
you
Like,
really think about that kind of compliment, they don't see that, man, you was blind at one point.
bro, you know what's so crazy? Like now, as I got more intelligent, as I started reading more, paying attention to things more, certain people, and I know guys don't mean it as a disrespect, but I almost feel disrespected when somebody just tell me, yeah, like, damn, that's just like you're just gifted that way. I almost take it disrespectful because you're taking away the fact that I work for this.
Yes.
Like, I don't like it. I don't even like that comment anymore. Like when
Bro,
you
I
just,
took it personal for years because I knew the dynamic of the work I put in. So when somebody said, man, people would die to have what you have. You got God given ability. Like, I'm like, bro, you know
I'm
how
working
many
this.
hours I put in shooting this shot the same way every time for
You could just
hours?
give it to somebody else. Like he just gave it to me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even when you think about the natural ability, if you were born out the womb and you could shoot a jump shot, you wouldn't need to practice.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be no need to do nothing but walk booby miles. I walk up on. I ain't never shot the ball before ever in my life, but I know how to handle like AI. That's natural ability.
Ability.
When I can see something and emulate it without practicing it and
Practicing
just
it.
doing it, there's not a lot of people. I don't think there's anybody that can do it.
Like I've never seen it. You show me because I've never seen it.
So if there is some type of example that you need, that's gonna be something. But for us, it's like, don't insult me. Don't
Yeah, it's
insult me like
insulting
I
because
ain't put the work. Because now what you're telling me is I don't work hard.
exactly. That's exactly how I feel. So I had a guy tell me like, man, hope he get it, man. We'll see if he gets it. I was like, why would you see? If he work, he gets it. If he doesn't, you don't get it.
Right.
It's really that simple. Like I
So
don't like it's
let's
really
let's let's jump into the coaching. Let's
mm-hmm.
jump into the coaching because a lot of people have no idea that type of transition and going from trainer to coaching. It's
Mm-hmm.
a lot more intimate. It's a lot more detailed. You
Yeah.
know, when you're a trainer, you depend on the player to come in and do what he's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's not a lot of encouragement that player depends on from the trainer because I'm just here to direct you into helping you get repetitions and make sure your craft is sharp.
Yeah.
Coaching is a little bit different,
Yeah.
where there's accountability on both sides. The information you're giving the player has to be correct. Can't be no
Yes.
bullshit information,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to be able to show results.
Mm-hmm.
In
Yeah.
in training, you ain't really got to show results in training. The player, his work ethic is going to show what results. Even if you're throwing him bullshit drills, if he works hard, he going to show that your bullshit drill has some type of result to it.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Coaching,
It's a
you
total
going to
different
see
game.
the character of the man or the woman who's coaching come out of that player.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson, those guys who played for Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
They got a whole different pedigree of how they play, how they look at the game, because he taught them a certain way to look at the game that they can never forget. And they like, man, Phil, you should just tell us to just play together. Popovich, hey man, work the system. The system is flawless. Just work the system.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about that transition, man, from trainer, prominent, everybody knocking your door down to get some work to now I'm working with the LA Sparks. I'm WNBA assistant coach.
Yeah.
What's that look like? What's that feel like, man?
I
How did that
mean,
happen?
it's definitely a different feel. Because you're more like a family in the sense of like you with players every day. You're constantly talking with your staff. You're constantly preparing. You're constantly getting information ready. Like, you know, you're scouting other teams. Like, it's kind of beyond just the individual. So everything is more together, together, together. And if you do work on an individual aspect, it's working on it so that can help the team, you know. So like it's definitely a transition, and honestly, it kind of helped me become better as a coach, because I don't even consider myself a trainer anymore. I kind of got off that board, and as a coach, as a teacher, to be able to, even now when I work with guys or ladies that are even not on my team, I try to let them always understand, like, okay, let's talk about what your team is like, what is required for you from your team. What can you do individually better that would help your team? Like, you know what I'm saying? So now you start looking at things from a different perspective, and trying to help players build in that mindset. But it's definitely a transition, because now it allowed me to understand that, like, in order to change anything, people have to sacrifice something. What are you willing to sacrifice? It got to be your time, right? So, like, for me, when I work with players, I tell them, man, like, give me a month, 2 months with you, sacrificing 2, 3 a days, Monday to Friday, sometimes even on the weekends. Like, we got to put in these hours, man. And like, you got to be able to rep the situation. And that's the difference between a team, right? Because the team has you all the time. So in the summer, I had a guy named Bryce Jones. He played overseas, top league, Serbia. He came to me. He was like, I've never trained with someone where I felt like I was in season, off season. And he was like, y'all don't take this for granted what Dash just did for y'all, man. This dude made us felt like we was in season. He's like, we're working on defense. We're working on reads coming over. We're working on team stuff. But until you're in like a team setting and you see the growth in that, it's hard to even understand that concept to bring it back. So like now when I watch young guys teach and train and stuff like that, I'm like watching them, I could tell like who's in the beginning stages of their career. Like I don't even need to ask a guy like, oh, how long you been training? I could tell like just watching like the stuff they work on or how they move, or like you'll be able to tell like you know, because
Yeah.
he's just able to tell, like, you
I
know.
mean, that's the difference between former players and fans.
Yeah,
A fan can't tell a former player what it takes to get prepared and do it, get it done. Like
yeah.
we know, like
Mm.
we know that the team element brings out the teammate in you. And
Yes.
if you don't have that team element, you're not around that all the time, it's
Mhm.
going to be hard to motivate you to be a team guy.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between training and coaching. Training, you're by yourself. There's no one to really push you and hold you accountable as far as the other side, defense. Somebody always doing something against you. Somebody on the help side. It's accountability. And when you in a team element and you got that kind of pressure to always perform in the betterment of the team atmosphere, that's a whole different
You
mentality,
wanna know what's so
man.
crazy? This is why I'm super careful with training, right? And I'm gonna drop a jewel for some of these guys that are listening in. Like, you know you know what the subconscious mind is, right? So the
Yep.
subconscious mind subconsciously picks up things that it ain't supposed to pick up. So when I see guys do drills and obviously like they're like working on their stuff, like subconsciously, when you just have your eyes in your own line of what you're working on, like, yeah, your coach might say, yo, well, you're reading the help coming over, you're going up and under, or you're driving this way. And I see guys work out, they're just forget the whole fact that they're supposed to be looking on weak side. They'll just put their head down, do they move that they working on, and they train in and get their layout. Subconsciously, you start picking up habits of just focusing only on you. That's why it's important to have bodies and see things. And that's why it's important for the smallest detail. Even if you by yourself, I'm driving, I'm looking,
Yes,
my
yes.
team, that right. And every rep got to feel that way because subconsciously, if you're only focusing on you, even though you know it's for being able to go up and under on the next guy that's coming over or change direction on this the help, you gotta have your eyes ready. And subconsciously, what happens in a lot of training, like you pick up habits that you don't even understand you're picking up, and then when you go play, you playing for you. So like
Well, guys
that's
don't know how to
mhm.
use their imagination when training, and that
Yes,
was one thing that I learned to master. Is I
imagine.
never wanted to be training unrealistically.
Yeah, yeah,
And unrealistic training is when you're on the wing and you're dribbling the ball more than 3 times, get your ass out of here. You're
yeah.
doing too much. It's not realistic for you to be on the wing in a real game and dribble more than 3 times. Going left, right, or straight. So as a wing player, you know you only got max 3 dribbles.
Share with me why you think you only have three.
You only have 3 because in the course of a game, there's 14 seconds after you pass the half court line.
Mm-hmm.
14 seconds. Let's say you get the ball first after the ball's past the half court line. So it's 13 seconds the moment you get the ball. We're
Mm-hmm.
running a play.
Mm-hmm.
This is not here you have the ball ISO for 13 straight seconds. So, in the course of you having the ball and running the play doesn't dictate you dribbling at this moment. You got the ball. It's for you to hold the ball, wait for the cut. Guy pops out, you swing him the ball. It's about 10 seconds on the clock now. There's not enough time for any player to have the ball during a play making a move that is not an attack move or a move to get fouled. So when you do have the ball and you are dribbling more than 3 times, that's taking 3 to 4 seconds off the clock. So 14 seconds, you get the ball first, you've already dribbled 4 seconds off the clock before anyone else has touches the ball. So there's 4 other guys on the floor with 10 seconds left to go in the shot clock, and we have made one pass in our offense. That lets you know that you're not supposed to be doing all the dribbling, right? But you practice this. Boom, 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 go. But that is not being practiced in the context of the game, because if it was, you would know that you don't have time to do that.
And right. So like this is why like I feel like see this is where I have grown as a teacher, right? Because like you see what you just said? That's called information and details.
Yeah.
Right? And that's not being told to people. All you people that tell they don't dribble, 3 dribbles, but why? Like when people hear that, like, and that's the things I share with people. And that's why I tell people, man, like you can watch my videos all as long as you want, but you'll never pick up because I don't sell drills. I sell information, right? So when you come to me, these are the detailed information you're gonna get, like right there. That's a jewel. Like, oh shit, I only got this much time. I got this much time. And if I'm dribbling and the ball going behind my back, I might miss the cutter as soon as the ball. But if I keep it here, I'm keeping it simple. I can hit him on a cut. If I'm holding, like, I don't want to miss these things. So I told somebody today, I was watching film with this young lady, and I said to her, name me 5 of the greatest passes of all time.
Mm.
And tell me if they over dribble. And you'll have your answer. John Stockton doesn't over dribble, one of the greatest passes of all time. Magic Johnson doesn't over dribble, one of the greatest passes of all time. Jason Kidd doesn't over dribble, one of the greatest passes of all time. Mark Jackson doesn't over dribble, one of the greatest passes of all times. Right? Steve Nash, like, and people don't understand. Like, Steve Nash doesn't over dribble. He uses body, he uses angle, hip, open up. Like, he doesn't play with it.
Mm-mm.
LeBron James doesn't play with it. One of the greatest passes of all times. Because when you're doing all this, you're missing certain
You're
things.
missing everything.
Damn, I missed you. Like, and like,
And it comes off selfish because while you're being selfish in your moment of
in your moment,
shine, you missed a wide open layup,
yeah,
right? Maybe that guy's not upset, but when we go back and watch film and we look at you dancing for 5 seconds, throw up a shot and miss it, when we had a cutting guy open for a layup. Now we got to distinguish whether this particular play was the reason we lost the game. Now we got to distinguish whether or not this type of behavior as a player is something that's consistently happening, or is it just happening just because you felt like it was the moment? You know, heat check. I just want to come down and boom, boom, boom. But what we're doing is we're seeing this happen everywhere in basketball, where it's just
100%.
it's subconsciously selfish that you don't. It's unconsciously selfish
Yeah.
that a guy like Russell Westbrook or Dame Lillard doesn't understand why they don't win the big game, because unconsciously they're ball hogs and they feel like they're doing everything they need to do for the game, but there's other aspects of the game that they don't help, that they don't even look at to be important, like defense. If And this is one thing that one person said, that if Russell Westbrook played defense like he played offense, we wouldn't have a conversation about whether or not he's the number one, number five, or number 10. Because defensively, if you win as hard as you do offensively, there would be no comparison to you. Same with all of them. And there's only two guys who played the game that way. And I really only want to say one, but everyone gives Mike credit for doing it because he did it when he wanted to. Mike cut it on and off. Kobe never cut that shit off. Kobe couldn't cut it off. So them two guys are two guys that's like, hey man, we do this. Both sides of the floor. Right? And if Gary Payton was as good as offensively as he was defensively, he would be the other one. I played both sides of the ball equally.
How do you feel
Giannis,
about Kawhi?
Giannis and Kawhi, equally. A young Artest, when he had that game, he was out there killing them both sides of the ball. Man, these are guys. These are like less than 10 guys that can do both, right? But we're not teaching that the other side is important. But let's get into this. I'm gonna name out a couple players, and I want you to get the who you think is your particular pick. I don't want to get into the top fives.
Okay.
I'm gonna force you to pick one or the other.
Okay.
So we'll start point guards. We'll go all the way down.
All
I'm
right.
gonna give you a couple scenarios.
Okay.
So let's go. Allen Iverson, Steve Francis. Pick one. Why?
Hey, I just feel like Allen Iverson, like, like when he stepped on the court, forget everything outside of the court. When he stepped on the court, he showed you that like he was gonna give it his all, right? Like even though he was the smallest guy, he playing passing, he putting his body on the line. We saw that. I felt like a lot of times when Steve Francis played, like obviously he was super talented. I love Steve. like I'm a like I looked up to Steve growing up, but it was just like, and one thing I didn't understand as I started getting older, as I got older, I started realizing Steve has like emotions towards a lot of stuff, like in the sense of like if you piss him off today, he might not want to play for you. Like, or if you feel a certain way, like I just feel like he just didn't like he didn't come out every single day to just like really give it his all. From looking now as I watched him play, I don't know. And I don't know why it could be other reasons. It could be like not getting along with teammates or didn't feel like they was doing him right or like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? There's a few people in this league that can just put aside all the nonsense what people are doing to them or whatever you want to point fingers or whoever you want to say, whatever. And just once I get out there, it's about playing the game that you first fell in love with and playing it the right way and playing hard. And I felt like no matter what AI went through, he was able to just play it hard, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm gonna give my take on this.
mm-hmm.
There's always a take, and it's always a scenario behind the take, because it's like, all right, you could possibly be choosing AI over for the talent reasons. You could be choosing AI for the fact that he had a better career. I want to choose Steve Francis because of the potential that he had. He exuded a certain potential that never capped off, right?
Yes.
And what I've seen in his talent and his potential, was more than Allen Iverson's.
Oh, 100%.
He was more than what Allen had to give the game. But I feel like when he was in Houston and he was showing his ass, rookie of the year, Yao Ming came. Yao Ming messed it up for the show, for the franchise show, because it was the franchise.
But this is what I'm talking about, right? Like allowing something to dictate.
Yeah, for
how
sure,
you,
for sure.
Like feel about playing.
Steph did the same thing. Steph Marbury, Steve Francis, Allen Iverson would be the three that you would compare similar to Vince, Tracy, and Kobe. These are the three that you would say, okay, how does Allen Iverson transcend over those two, Steph and Steve, who were better than AI? Both of those guys, better. But AI stuck to his guns, and he found a team that was like, we willing to put everything in your hands. If you think about it, Steph didn't have that with the Timberwolves. They gave it the ticket. You look at it with Steve, he thought he was going to have it in Houston. They gave it to Yao. Allen Iverson, we gave it to you from day one, and we didn't bring nobody in to take that away from you. Right? So that's circumstantial. Right? So let's go to number 2. I like to go Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant. But I'm not going to go there. We're going to go Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter.
Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter. I'm going with Tracy, man. I'm going with Tracy. But like, you know what's so crazy? These guys, like their talent, the talent is not what separates. I'm not even looking at talent. I'm just looking at how guys deal with situations and continue to play.
Yes.
That's what I'm looking at.
Yes. So like, look at those two. Let's look at those two. They both have the same stigma. But we're talking about who you going to pick to be on your squad. That's it. Not who going to lead the team, not who going to hit the last shot. None of that. Who on your team?
Yeah. I'm going with T-Mac.
Why T-Mac?
Because I just felt like, for me, like I said again, bro, just watching these guys, body language, feeling like they want to play one night, feeling like they don't want to play another night. Like I felt like injuries more impacted T-Mac, right? Like T came out to hoop. Like, you know T-Mac was coming to give you 40, like no matter what. Like even when Yao was there, he didn't get, he went there. And he knew going there, like their guy was Yao. But like that didn't even come into his head. Like he just hooped. He went in, he hooped, he played hard, back problems, like that started slow, injuries. That's why I like, you know, those little things. But like T-Mac ain't worrying about no other dude and who spot you giving it to. And you know what I'm saying? He came into hoop. And that's for me, like watching Vince and like seeing like, I think as Vince got older, he started realizing these things. Like, and that's why like he stuck around in the league and was being a mentor to a lot of young guys and trying to show them the way. And it's good to give back in that sense where you have to, but I like T-Mac because I just feel like that's important to me. Bro, when you at that level, man, guys are good, man. Like it's really like I'm not even judging by talent anymore. Like you talented, he talented. It's really more how you deal with your circumstance, bro, and how you get the best out of it. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of things, like you said, is situational. Like
I think the same thing with these two.
Put into better situations than others.
You got Vince, you got T-Mac, right? I got to go with Vince because we ain't never seen nothing like it. Ain't never seen nothing. Listen, there was no Kobe Bryant in 2000. In 2000, there was no Kobe. It was the Vince Carter show. 2001, the Vince Carter show. If Kobe didn't have Shaq, we wouldn't know Kobe to be Kobe. Because there was Vince Carter. He was Michael Jordan. Then we cap in the reality. He wasn't built like that.
But that's what I'm saying, right? So like,
Situational. That's what I said. So we're going
right?
back to,
But then you talk about he not built like that. So like, yeah, there was nothing never seen like what he does, but like at the same
but
time,
that's the stoppage. The stoppage of the talent is that you wasn't built like that, or injuries, so on and so forth. That's why when you pick certain guys, you're not picking them because of the longevity, because they went here, because they did these things. I'm picking the guy because I know that in a little tweak here, a little tweak here, some people don't even exist. Tupac Shakur doesn't die. A lot of people don't release music. They don't become musicians or
no,
rappers,
it's true.
right?
That's the
One
truth.
little thing tweaked here, one little thing tweaked here. It's like, man, Vince would have went if Vince doesn't leave Toronto. We don't know what the hell happens, right? He went to New Jersey, then went to Orlando, and next thing you know, you can't be in the Kobe conversation because you changed teams. Kobe ain't changed teams. He never left. He
But
kept
like
he
for
kept it
me,
going. All
and
that.
that's where from like being on the coaching side, I'm be able to. That's why I'm making my picks on, because now I'm like understanding like from a coaching standpoint, there's more needed than just talent.
Yep.
There's attitude, the way you carry yourself, the way you work, the way you push. Like all those things play a part in my choice in people that I take.
All
You get
right.
it? But if you're
So
just looking at this like naturally, like, yo, look at this dude. Like, I feel like, and when I like, somebody said to me one day, like, man, yo, D Wade had some natural, like, like to him, like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, and they was like, if D Wade had worked as hard as Kobe, somebody said that to me before. Like, if he worked as hard as Kobe, like, man, you never know what would possibly like it be like. But we can't we just got to go with what's in front of us. You didn't like,
but that's
right?
the difference between manufactured and raw skill. D
Yes.
Wade didn't have to do what Kobe did. Kobe had to transform his game from playground to NBA. Michael Jordan already knew how to do that because he played college. Kobe never played college, so he first 3 years he had to change his game. And once that happened, everything elevated, right? You know what I'm saying? Everything elevated. So let's go in a different direction. We're gonna go modern times now, but we're gonna do the last three. We're gonna do small forwards, power forwards, bigs, but the modern day. So I wanna go. It's gonna be hard. This is difficult because it's difficult to compare LeBron with anybody now except for KD. So I want to do that, and I put Giannis at the four. LeBron James, Kevin Durant. Why?
So I'm going LeBron. Like, like obviously KD to me superior talent as far as scoring, ability to do whatever he does. Like I love it. Like I love it. I love it. Like I love KD. Nothing to get against him, but like I'm going LeBron because I feel like not because of numbers. I'm looking at like overall. Like, you know what I'm saying? KD's a champion in his own. LeBron is a champion in his own. But obviously, like the winning, being able to win, being able to lead teams, being able to coach, being able to like understand the game, the level of IQ, the level of leadership as a teammate, like all of those things they have to be like factored in. At least for me as a coach, I factor those things in, right? So like being able to see LeBron do those things and still be able to like help other guys get in and get going and still get himself going, like that, and how he like try to get guys to compete with him and like and push guys to get going. Like I just think like and impact the game in so many different ways on the floor. Like, and KD does too. Like it's tough. You know what I mean? When you're thinking about both of them, it's tough. Like, because KD is a hell of a scorer and he impact the game. Like I seen when KD want to sit down and guard, he can guard and
Yeah.
use his length and like, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's a tough choice right there. You
So
know what
let's
I'm
talk
saying?
about it. Let's talk about it. So okay, I'm gonna go with KD.
Yeah.
But I want to say I'm neutral because they both need the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
I want to break it down a little bit. They both need supporting cast to thrive.
Yep. But I think that's any player though.
Not necessarily.
Who
Because,
never had a supporting cast.
well, my point being, LeBron as a facilitator, you put him at the point forward, he needs shooters.
Yeah.
Right? Now, let's just say if he didn't have shooters, he can still get the job done because he's still facilitating. But in order for him to be successful, he need them shots to go in on a certain rate. KD. KD need guys to know how to play the game.
Mm.
The Golden State Warriors was a perfect element of what made KD KD is because he could defer when he knew he couldn't do the things that he needed to do to get the advantage.
Yeah.
If he was guarded by a smaller guy, he knew he couldn't handle it, but couldn't get to the post like a Patrick Beverly, refused to let him get down there and do it. He needs to defer because he can't go get to his spot, right? Some guys are spot guys. LeBron, if he doesn't have a point guard, he's not very good playing off the ball. And if you put him in the post, it's like he's a liability unless he's guarding a really, really small guy, right? So they both need things in order to reach their capacity. But I'm picking KD because he literally doesn't have to question his ability to take over the game. He doesn't question whether or not he should take the shot, do this, do. LeBron, to me, when he has the ball, is trying to make a decision, which all the other greats never had. It was never a thought on, oh, shut up. Am I gonna, what am I gonna do? Ain't never been. You can feel that with LeBron. Shit on the line, he know he got to take the shot, but do he want to take the shot? KD know that's a responsibility for him, and he didn't step up to the plate many times. But my reason for choosing KD over LeBron is simply because the man has outshined and never backed down from that challenge between the two of them.
Never.
And I feel like LeBron never stepped up during those 3 years of that Warrior shit. He never stepped up for the challenge against KD. Now, I remember he stepped up to the challenge with Steph. I'm going to guard him. I'm going to guard Steph. I never seen that with KD, and I got to give KD that edge because it's like giving Kawhi the edge over LeBron when Kawhi walk on the floor and LeBron look back and be like, damn, he back in. That's an edge I got to give the other
But
guy.
like for me, like I just like the fact that LeBron plays the game the right way.
Well, LeBron got to play the game the right way because he got a point guard mentality. And KD don't got the point guard mentality. So when KD play the game the right way without having that mentality, it gives him the edge.
And not saying like KD doesn't play the right way, because he knows what his job is, right?
That's what I'm saying.
So, like to me, bro, in all honesty, like you just got to give it to both of them because for me,
Yeah. That's what
like,
I said. I'm neutral.
Yeah, neutral. Yeah, because it's just like they understand their responsibilities to their teams.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And like, and they just go out there and they do it to their best ability, man. Like,
all right. So let's move into the power forward. There's not a lot of power forwards out there that's solid, more solid than Giannis.
mm-mm.
And I don't like Giannis as a solid. I like Giannis as a potential.
Mm.
But I don't see no other fours out there that could even come close to competing with him at that position.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we just gonna go right to the center.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid
Jokic.
and Jokic.
Woo. They
And
got
why?
different style of games, man.
And why?
I mean, they just.
I love both of these.
I like both of them,
game.
bro. They both got game, but they just play two different ways, man. Like Joel is more like offensive minded, like, but Jokic could get you. He's offensive too.
I see similarities more than differences than them. I see a lot of similarities.
Like, but the passing ability of
For
Jokic,
Jokic is the only difference. It's the only difference. He can
right?
pass, he want to pass that bitch.
Like, but for me, Jokic is more like finesse with his buckets. Joel is more like I want to run through you. I'm powerful, strong.
What's the difference though? The difference what you saying is Euro basket versus
Yeah.
Africa basket, right?
Basket. Yeah.
Right? And then you say this dude over here, he know what he doing. Jokic has been playing amateur pro since he was 13.
Yeah. I mean, he the
So
MVP for a reason.
man, so his patience, like you said, when you moving slow and you think that I can get no, he down there is just like me up there at the top, playing around with these guards, going slow mo. He down at the box doing the same thing.
I'm going with the MVP.
You gonna go with Joe? I gotta go
Well,
with
no, not
Embiid.
Joe. I'm going with Jokic. I'm going with the
I gotta
MVP.
go with Embiid, and I hate to go against you on every single one of the goddamn
Nah, it's
picks,
okay.
but but I assumed I would go with the Joker when the
Mhm.
names came up. But the more I think about it, I like Joel because he reminds me of Hakeem Olajuwon so much.
100%. 100%.
I think he's better than Olajuwon, to be honest, because of the things he could do with the ball as far as how Olajuwon could dribble and
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom,
So,
boom. But Olajuwon wasn't no 3-point shooter.
yeah. But
Joel can pop out and shoot that
and
thing.
Joel really can handle it though.
He
He
can
handled
really
it better
handle
than
it.
Jokic actually. Like he can really face up and pop, 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 and get to space like a guard and then back
Yes.
down like a
Yes.
big and like footwork down there and up under
Shoulders,
powerful.
man, up and
Like
unders.
what's the crazy? You're right. Joel might be better, but like I think because of like season record,
Season, yes.
like numbers and stuff, like that kind of played a part in like Jokic winning MVP.
Experience.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But like if you just and then defensively, like,
They both bring it.
yeah. Yeah,
And that's what I like about Joker. The Joker actually play defense.
yeah.
He not like usually they got the European defenders are the ones that never play. Scola, Valanciunas, y'all ain't never been no shot blocking defenders ever.
Yeah.
Gobert probably the first one, other than Ibaka,
Yeah.
right? So then you come over here, you got the European 7-footer that want to play D, steal the ball. He averaging 1 steal a game, 2 blocks, a triple double. As a big, come on, bro. We talking about triple double big,
Really
7 foot, leading the break,
Shoot the three.
shoot the three, pass it from anywhere on the floor.
Yeah.
Like I like that conversation, but just
Mind
when
you.
it come down to who, when I look at them two against each other, I'm gonna say Joker. He gonna bring it. He gonna be there at the end. He gonna have the numbers. But Embiid, that melanin gonna kick in, and he gonna have to say to himself, man, am I gonna let this dude have this over my head or not? That's usually what it come down to. Man, am I gonna let this dude have bragging rights over me?
Yeah, I think Joel, he's definitely one of those guys. He ain't gonna let you like MB ain't gonna never let you have that over him.
He can't.
He's super competitive in that way.
That's why I like him because of the competitive. And if we had to choose all over again throughout the numbers of it, I would choose AI because of the competitiveness. Right, he's
That's what
way
I'm
more
saying.
competitive.
Like
Right,
he's super competitive.
we talking about the distinction. So if I go back and change my distinction of my choices, I would say, look, AI because he was just way more competitive, not anything else. Then you say,
And that's what I'm saying, right? Because it's
yeah,
like there's not that much separation between these guys.
nah,
Like they're all talent. They can dribble, shoot, jump. Like it's like I'm not even looking at that.
right.
Yeah, all got that. But like
And
who's
Vince was more competitive than Tracy. You know what I'm saying? Tracy was laid back. He ain't really, but Vince, you can see that shit come out of Vince every now and again. You know what I'm saying? And then Giannis don't got no competition out there these days, right now, when it comes to matching his energy. And then these two, you look at these two, you say, man, I don't see another big out there that's like these two guys. Nurkic is close. You know what I'm saying? But he injury prone. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But in closing, you know,
What does AD play the 5 or the 4?
that's who it would have been. Let's talk that. There we go. AD Giannis.
AD,
AD Giannis at the 4.
Ooh, I didn't even. Hey,
I forgot all about
hey.
AD.
But you got it. For me, like when AD wants to hoop though.
Listen to what you saying. What you say? What was that? What you just said? See, that was the basis of our conversation. That's why I had to take that out.
Yeah.
That's why I took that out in the beginning. Because I'm like, because we can say that about every single player. Like, if he want to play,
if he, like, you know what I mean? Like
AD New Orleans, just put it like that. AD New Orleans, we talking about 30 and 20 AD.
AD New Orleans.
Huh?
But Giannis, bro, back-to-back MVP, like that dude just plays hard as shit, man. Like,
but can we say something about that? Steve Nash, back-to-back MVPs during Kobe's still living. Kobe's still alive then. You didn't remember that, right? Mm-hmm. So he won one over Shaq and he won one over Kobe.
Yeah.
Right? Back-to-back. But, you know, we hold Steve Nash to a certain regard. But if you got back-to-back point guard MVPs, bro, you're supposed to be Rushmore. Steph Curry, back-to-backs. Right? MVPs. Deserving. You supposed to be up, but it should never be a time where you're not in the race no more. You back-to-back. Right? Giannis, compared to AD, you looking at the situation from why did he get the MVP? Was he the best player in the league over everybody? Did he play just as hard as Kenneth Faried, running up and down the floor at 6'7", 6'8", getting all the rebounds, playing hard? If Kenneth Faried was 6'11", we wouldn't know Giannis. It wouldn't be no room for Giannis because we already got one of you. We already know what this looks like. He's a giraffe running around, jumping and blocking. Bro, I ain't never seen nobody like Kenneth Faried. At 6'7". Never seen anybody like him. So Giannis at 6'11" to me gives me the notion that there is a guy that can make a 6'11" Kenneth Faried. Kenneth Faried couldn't shoot. He ain't had no Euro either though. He ain't had a and do all that. But you can't take nothing away from Giannis, from what he's developed and how good he's gotten. But thing, you can't give him Giannis the credit above skill and talent.
I wouldn't do that. I'm gonna tell you why. Because the motor, you're comparing the motor.
AD's motor versus Giannis' motor?
No. The motor of Giannis and Kenneth Faried. That's the only thing you can compare. Like the motor to chase things down and play hard. But like Giannis really expanded his game, bro.
Like, did he?
Yes.
Well, let's talk about how he had the ability to do that. You're the star of the team. You have to. Kenneth Faried was never the star of the team. He was never getting the ball like that. And if they would have,
he's a role guy.
But if Denver would have made him a priority, he would have expanded his game.
But here's the thing though. Giannis came in with a little bit of
no.
Yeah.
No. Bro, Giannis came in skinny, and we don't know what we're gonna do with this dude.
Look, he came in skinny, but he can dribble it a little bit. But that's what I'm saying. All you got to do is have a little bit of that.
Yeah, but
so they can show, like, because think about it, right? I pull up and I show you, hey, look, I got flashes that I could handle it a little bit. I got flashes that I could kind of like, then they just help you build it, right? But like Kenneth Faried, he ain't got no flash. He never had no flashes of just like really being a good ball handler.
No, because that wasn't his position.
That wasn't
his position. His position was power forward, rebound, run the floor, post up.
That's what I'm saying.
Block shots.
That motor is very similar.
He played his position. This is why I love basketball, having these conversations, because we talking about what's your position, power forward. What do you do as a power forward? I do boom, boom, boom. Okay, cool. Giannis, you do this. Okay, we don't need you to do this, and this, and this. We need you to do this, and this. Be the best at that, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you doing all this other stuff and you're getting credit for this other stuff, does it make you better than your counterparts that play your same position? Does it make him better than AD because he handles the ball more on a team that don't got ball handlers? Does it make him better than AD because he handles it? Or when we finally see AD handle it, he handles it better.
He does handle that
He
shit better.
just doesn't handle it a lot.
Yes. Yes. He
Right?
does handle it better. Just
That's
not a lot.
circumstantial, right?
Yes. It is circumstantial. A lot of it is circumstance.
So we look at AD's game compared to Giannis' game. AD don't got the motor to compete with Giannis. Giannis don't got the skills to compete with AD.
Yeah.
And that's how I see that particular
To
breakdown.
be honest, bro, like it's crazy. Like now when you think about even everybody that we compared, a lot of this stuff is just situational.
It's all situational.
So like it's really at that level, if you get guys like them, it's not like I'm better than you better than me. It's
No.
really the situation.
Bro,
It's
and that's
all-
why the NBA is so biased to talent, because you got a guy who can say, man, I did this, this, and that. It's like, and I can say, man, I never had the opportunity to do none of that. I'm way better than you. I play the same position. I shot 40 from the three. I shot 47 from the two. Man, all that stuff. And only played 20 minutes. You played 34 minutes and you got this. Give me the same opportunity, bro. I'm gonna show better results. But a lot of players don't get the situations like other players.
But don't hey, I've seen people get the opportunity,
And fuck up the
they can do
opportunity.
better and trick it all off.
Yeah, because they wasn't prepared.
Because like man, I'm better than you. All right. Somebody get hurt, somebody go down, show.
Prepared. They're
You
not
know,
prepared.
Flip Murray, like see Flip Murray. That was a dude that, like, when he got that opportunity, I don't know who went down. I don't know if it was Ray Allen.
It was Ray.
Flip was like,
It's a goat. Flip is a goat.
Flip is cold.
He's a goat.
I remember Flip Murray like taking full advantage of his opportunity when Ray went down. Like, it was crazy.
Situationships, bro. All of them are situational. I mean, there's so many different stories that sizzle out because that situation burnt out. You know what I'm saying? You thought that situation was gonna go like Gilbert. Gilbert's situation in Golden State, man. Situationship. He came out of Arizona and went to the wrong team. And the moment he had the opportunity to show a little bit of his talent, they checked him out. Give him the bag. This dude cold. But situations, bro. But let's talk a little bit on the outro. The kids that you work with, they're on the rise. They on their way up. And I have a few names that I just want to throw out there, man. And maybe you should throw out some new names that are up and coming. But I wanna throw out a couple names. Johnny Zhang. I want to throw out Coco Britt. I want to throw out Skylar Clark. I want to also throw out Kieh Clark.
Mm-hmm.
And I think those are the main key kids that I know that are up and coming, whether in college or in high school right now, that are going to see a lot of success based on dealing with you for the long term. And they come through your program, come through your training. These kids have enormous talent that has been curated by you personally, not exclusively, but personally. How do you feel about these particular kids and where they are, and any new kids that you got coming up?
I mean, to be honest, man, like Johnny Juzang, like we spent a lot of time together from kid, and it's just not only me. There's a lot of guys, you know, it takes a village, but lately it's me and Johnny been putting a lot of time together. UCLA head staff has done a really good job with that team and getting guys to understand the concept of what they're trying to do. So it's a village, you know what I mean? I feel great for Johnny. You know, he's someone that like I consider like family. We spend a lot of time together and we talk over things, and you know, just got he buy into everything we're trying to do. And you know, for guys to buy in, they gotta trust you, you know what I mean? So you gotta know what you're talking about and trying to show them. Sky Clark, it's been a while since I've seen him, but like one thing, Sky's a worker, and he's always going to put in the work. And we reach out to each other every now and then and talk, and just let him know I'm always here for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, one thing I had to learn over the years is like it takes a village, and it's okay for guys to go other places and get whatever information they need. You can't be everywhere at once, right? So it's just about allowing people to develop and grow and just be in there as a business. You provide a service, and you just want to provide that service to the best of the ability when guys come in, and just give them a great experience, and help them feel that family loving bond where they always connected to you no matter what. Like, what I mean? They always check in, and you always check in on them, and things like that. I got a kid, Ben Schulzberg, plays at Notre Dame High School right now. He's going to Creighton. I'm super excited for him because he was one of the kids that was growing up with Sky, all these guys, and did not get the recognition young, but someone that I see bury themselves in the gym and like did some great things on the EYBL circuit this year. Did some great things at this prep school he played at last year called SCA Academy, and and I'm just those are the guys I spend time with, and definitely got some new guys at UCLA. David Singleton, Kie Clark, definitely like a brother to me. No matter where he goes, we spend a lot of time, and like Kie, one of the best defenders in college basketball at the guard position, get down, lock up, super aggressive, really knowledgeable about the game. Just keep expanding, working on his jumper, and like being able to make those open shots is really huge for him. But he's working, and like what I love about Kie, he just really shows kids that like, man, no matter what size you are, you can impact the game in different ways, being physical, getting up in guys, disrupting things, and he does that really well. But yeah, man, like those are some of the young guys that I spent a lot of time with, and I got some older vet guys that it's kind of been out of school and like trying to make their way back that we've been really pushing and working, But like, yeah, like that's really it, man. Like those guys, I'm really excited for them because like you see the work they're putting in, and you see like the drive to be better, and now I always tell them, man, this is the platform. Being at your school, being on national TV for everyone to see you, all that work you put in all these years and all summer long to just pay off. So I'm really excited to see these guys this upcoming year. Javon Quinterly at Alabama. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I got a chance to like spend time with him in the summertime, even when he was in high school. Uh, me and Javon spent a lot of time together. I'm actually gonna go to Alabama soon and spend some time with him and work with him again. But like like I said, there's a lot of guys like that help Javon and just help a lot of these kids, and I'm just happy to be a part of like that circle that helps push them in the right direction, man.
Right, right, bro. That's special, man. And we gonna cap the conversation there, man, and just let everybody soak in, especially these young kids that's listening, that's trying to understand what the next spots is outside of preparation and training. Also transitioning into your dream and following your dreams and understanding that there's always going to be pitfalls and roadblocks, but you got to keep pushing forward. Um, I want to thank Dash, Mr. Jamal Lovell, for coming on to the podcast and expressing, his testimony of the things that he's been through and the things that he's going through with kids and training and coaching, and also just looking forward to the next generation of ballers. But right now, I mean, we're in a space right now where it's all about making it better. It's all about making the kids better, making ourselves better. And I just want to again thank Dash for coming on and giving us his testimony. And there's if there's any social media links, man, you want people to check out, because I know there's going to be a lot of people wanting to figure out, how to help their kids get better as far as in basketball, ball handling, teamwork, all that stuff. Where can the people come to find your content, reach out to you, ask some questions, so on and so forth?
Man, just Dash Athletics, Dash Athletics, type in Dash Athletics on Instagram. And also from there, like you can go to my YouTube is Dash Athletics as well. Put stuff on YouTube as well. And I got an app called My Cut TV where Like you just follow Dashletics on MyCut TV app, and you can basically get more intel information, like step by step, like a booklet, like just kind of like walking you through stuff and talking to you about certain things. And like those are the three platforms right now for me that I use. And you guys ever want to get any information on anything, you can reach me on those places, and we'll get to work.
Sounds good, bro. And again, everybody out there listening, you know what this place is. This place is a sanctuary for transition, transformation, transcendence. Again, special guest, Mr. Dash, Jamal Lovell, and I'm your host, Mr. Rashad McCants, and this is the Transition Podcast, Man to God. Thank you again. Till next time.
Peace.